Charlie Chaplin was born on April 16, 1889, in London, England, into a life filled with struggle, poverty, and instability. His full name was Charles Spencer Chaplin, and his early life was anything but easy. His father was an alcoholic who left the family when Charlie was still very young. His mother, Hannah Chaplin, was a music hall singer and actress who struggled to provide for Charlie and his brother, Sidney. Unfortunately, she also suffered from severe mental health issues, which led her to be admitted to an asylum, leaving Charlie and his brother to fend for themselves. By the age of 7, Charlie was sent to a workhouse, a government-run institution, for the poor. Hunger, cold nights, and hopelessness became a part of his everyday reality. But amid the darkness, a spark of creativity and imagination began to grow within him. Charlie found joy in mimicry, facial expressions, and street performance. He used laughter to mask his pain, discovering that humor could be both a weapon and a healing tool. His life began to change when he joined a group of child performers, eventually leading him to work with the Fred Karno comedy troupe. With this troupe, Chaplin traveled to America, where his talent truly began to shine. In 1914, he made his film debut in Making a Living. That same year, he introduced the world to a character that would define his career, the tramp. Dressed in oversized pants, a tight coat, a bowler hat, a cane, and a toothbrush mustache, the tramp became one of the most iconic characters in film history. Chaplin's genius wasn't just in making people laugh, it was in making them feel. Through silent films, he told stories of hardship, injustice, love, and resilience. He didn't need words. His expressions, timing, and storytelling were more than enough to captivate audiences around the globe. He brought joy to a world recovering from war and despair, using comedy to offer hope. His movies like The Kid, 1921, City Lights, 1931, Modern Times, 1936, and The Great Dictator, 1940, weren't just entertainment. They were reflections of society, wrapped in humor and heart. In Modern Times, he portrayed the struggles of industrial workers, criticizing the mechanical nature of modern life. In The Great Dictator, he fearlessly mocked Adolf Hitler and delivered a powerful speech promoting peace, unity, and humanity. A speech still quoted today as one of the greatest in cinematic history. Chaplin didn't just act. He directed, produced, and composed the music for his films. He controlled every aspect of his art because he believed in staying true to his vision. His work ethic was unmatched, often doing hundreds of takes to capture a single perfect moment. His dedication reminds us that mastery is not accidental. It is earned through relentless effort and belief in oneself. But success didn't shield him from controversy. In the 1940s, during a politically tense time in America, he was accused of communist sympathies and faced intense scrutiny. Eventually, he was exiled from the U.S. and settled in Switzerland. Despite being rejected by the very country where he built his stardom, he never spoke bitterly. Instead, he continued creating art, living with grace, and holding on to the values he believed in. In 1972, after more than 20 years away from Hollywood, Chaplin returned to receive an honorary Academy Award. When he stepped onto the stage, the entire audience gave him a 12-minute standing ovation, the longest in Oscar history. It was the world's way of saying, "We remember, we are grateful." He died peacefully on December 25, 1977, but Charlie Chaplin didn't really die. His legacy, laughter, and lessons live on. So what can we learn from the life of Charlie Chaplin? We learn that being born into poverty does not mean you are destined to stay there. He rose from the streets of London to become one of the most influential figures in film history. We learn that pain can be turned into power. Instead of letting sorrow define him, Chaplin turned his pain into laughter. Not just for himself, but for millions. We learn that art is a language that goes beyond words. His silent films said more than most scripts ever could. We learn that standing up for truth takes courage. He spoke against tyranny and injustice, even when it cost him everything. We learn that humility and grace are more powerful than revenge. Even after facing rejection and exile, he never lashed out. We learn that passion, consistency, and belief in your dream are the most valuable things you can have, more than money, fame, or status. One of his most famous quotes summarizes his philosophy perfectly. Life is a tragedy when seen in close-up, but a comedy in long shot. His story is not just about becoming famous. It's about holding on to your humanity when the world tries to take it away. It's about believing in beauty, in hope, in the power of emotion. It's about refusing to let your past dictate your future. Charlie Chaplin started with nothing. No money, no support, no formal education. But he had creativity, resilience, and heart. That was enough to change his life and the world. If you are ever struggling, if life feels unfair, or your dreams seem too far away, remember Charlie Chaplin. He cried in the rain so no one could see his tears. He made others laugh while hiding his own sorrow. He turned silence into poetry. And he proved that you don't need perfect circumstances. You just need the courage to begin. But really, it's a beginning. Let Charlie Chaplin's story inspire you to rise, to create, to smile, even when it hurts, and to never give up.